Welcome, everybody, to the Making Awesome podcast. This is episode 251, I think. Yeah, I think so.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
It's been 2 weeks. No, it's good. I'm hoping that we can get on a more sorted schedule, but the both of us have had kind of crazy personal lives lately that have more or less interfered, So January is kind of crazy for us because your birthday, my birthday, and Amber's birthday happen within 10 days of each other, right?
Yep.
Yours is the 5th, right?
Yep. Third.
Oh, 3rd.
It's on the 3rd.
Okay, so yours is the 3rd, Amber's the 10th, I'm the 15th.
Oh. And then obviously it's the Christmas period.
Yep.
Which means you have grandparents' family meal, the partner's family meal, their friend's family meal, my parents' family meal, and it just never ends. It just never ends. I need a holiday after this holiday.
Sounds about right. Push a little bit to your left, by the way.
Oh, a little bit more to my left.
A little bit to your left, yeah. To the left now, y'all.
So about here?
Yeah,
about here?
About there. And yes, we are aware that Jacob is slightly out of sync. We can't fix it. We tried. We'll deal with it another day. It is coming. It is on Jacob's side. It is not on my side.
It is. I screwed up. I tried to save 15 quid from getting a new Elgato cam link. I didn't realize this is discontinued.
Yeah.
Except it's brand new on Amazon. So I bought that from Amazon for 70 quid, like 68 quid. And the brand new one is 78 quid. So I just shot myself in the face.
Return it. I have at least one HD60S, but I have an S Plus as well. I can just bring you. They're spares.
Oh my God, that would be great.
And I will say, the Chinesium grade versions of the Elgatos are actually not bad, as long as you don't leave them out in your humid garage.
And there's a story there and a half.
Well,
why?
My garage is one of my sets.
But why would that matter? It's technology.
It fails. It fails between the heat and the humidity. So, I don't know. But you should really just be using the 4K webcam that I gave you rather than your expensive, Lumix S5
so
Mark II.
I did try the 4K webcam in this setup, which is not a permanent setup. It's only a temporary setup. But the lighting in here is trash. So I've literally got like all my lights set to 100%, and the Insta360 does struggle with the ISO, so you get like that little bit of grain appearing on your skin and everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be. So what it's gonna be.
I'm on the prime, the super fast lens, set to wide open, and that's giving it enough light. So I guess I've got a solution for now, but it's not a permanent one. I can't keep using the living room holding a microphone in my hands.
We'll figure things out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's a transitionary period, but until now, you've got the lounge, the lovely, just get to be lazy on a sofa, get to talk to my fans.
I mean, at least it's not black pleather, so I'll take it. Oh, MLV's asking really the most important question. Are you running the same camera stand that consisted of cat food, I think, is what it was last time?
No, actually.
Okay.
I've got my very cheap Amazon tripod out because my very expensive tripod is now missing the slide lock. Apparently it's gone missing in the factory in the 3-4 weeks where we were overseas. So
yeah, you can either reprint it or buy the part.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to buy the part because it was a really nice like aluminium clamp. So I'm just going to buy one.
I've been volunteering a lot at the local high school. We're going to get into the main subject. Don't worry. I just wanted to talk about this. You know what? No, I'll leave this till later on. Remind me about volunteering at the local high school. The main topic today is our yearly Christmas noob, style video where you got a 3D printer for the holidays, or maybe you didn't, but now you're looking at utilizing the 3D printers that you have for making money. Everybody likes making money, and it's kind of obvious that once you have a 3D printer, it does open you up to the abilities to make cash, and a fair bit of it, right?
Yeah.
So
I
before,
mean, 3D printers is the easiest way to get into plastic manufacturing, which is
oh yeah,
traditionally a very expensive industry to get into. So once you've got a printer, you've kind of overtaken a lot of traditional industry, even on the cheapest printers on the market, because
yep,
otherwise you just can't do it. And
yep.
there's a huge capitalization you can do on that just
Alex
because you have technology.
Alex Gibson's got a great idea for you. Buy a couple of the 600 by 600 millimeter office LED ceiling panels, print vertical stands for them, and put them on either side of your screen. He's right. Actually,
That's pretty nice.
a actually a former boss of mine turned felon, then turned content creator, Chris Bowden, at Physics Duck. You know him as, you want to see something cool? That's him.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah,
I
that's
love
him.
those little shorts.
We can
I've seen so many shorts of it.
we can probably get him on a show. I don't know if he'll give us, 3 hours, but we can probably hang out and talk shop. We just got to find a reason to get him on. But he just did a short on making a photo box and using those ceiling panels for all 5 sides of the photo box.
Really?
And I'm like, son
That's
of a
so
gun.
smart.
That's so brilliant.
Because that's universal light.
Right.
It will just come from all sides.
Right.
You'll have no shadows, you'll have no issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why haven't I thought of that before?
Yeah, I'm so pissed at this. I'm like, I even have one of those cheap, crappy light boxes too, and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty crap. Yeah, no, I'm gonna absolutely go out and get that. But yeah. So real quick, let's thank the sponsors for this stream. We have a new sponsor, even though I never reached out to them. I'm sponsoring this episode for them, so they get it. Our newest sponsor is 3D Prima. So if you are in the UK or the EU, want to pick up some filament, printers, whatever it might be, they've got a lot of SKUs. I honestly don't know how they handle all of those SKUs. I would love to understand how they can handle as many SKUs as they do, but go check them out. 3dprima.com. That's what it is for me. It might be different for you guys, but it's 3dprima.com for me.
I know for my side, I can highly recommend the Prima Select line for filaments. I used them for years, and they've been nothing but reliable for me.
But we do want a higher end version of it called the Prima Donna. We have discussed this. We need the next level of their Prima filament to be Prima Donna.
That's awful.
I don't care.
I want it so badly now. Like, I legitimately want that so badly.
So their brands include 3D Maker Pro, 3D Natives, 3DX Tech, Anchor Make, Ant Clabs, the BL Touch, Anycubic Artillery, Bamboo, BCN 3D, Big Tree Tech, BQ, Bond Tech, Copy Master, 3D Creality, CreateBot, Diamondback, Drywise, E3D, eSun, Fiberon, Flashforge, FL Sun, Forward AM, Loctite, Locklick, sure. Magigoo, Makera, Matter Inform, which make a really awesome 3D scanner, by the way. Micro Swiss Modify. They have okay, I thought this was going to be a very short list of brands, but this list is going a lot. They have a lot of effing brands.
They have a lot.
That's what you need to know. So go check them out. 3dprima. Whatever your specific country code will be, because I assume they have it for everyone. But for me, it's 3dprima.com. And they do free shipping on orders of greater than 100 euros within the EU, which is pretty cool. So, gotta love it. And they have a customer service phone number. Also, big thank you to the filament sponsor of the show for the US, Printed Solid. You can check them out, printedsolid.com. Links down below, made in Delaware. And I don't know if you guys saw that recent video we put out from them. I think you're going to like it if you haven't. Stay to the end of that video. You will not hate the fact that you stayed all the way to the end of that video. And then a huge thank you to Construct 3D for sponsoring the show, UK's fastest and first bamboo 3D printer, with their new Construct 2, consuming over 8 kilograms of material per day, and the Lights Out production unit, which helps ensure that you can keep that beast fed with over 8 kilos a day. We still need to discuss how I can get one of those here, and maybe we have to wait on that, given the current economic issues that are going on.
There'll be a way for me to smuggle one to you. Plus, in the next 10 days, we get the latest iteration of the print head, which is metal 3D printed. So the entire carriage system is aluminium 3D printed.
Ooh,
which is
fancy.
really nice. It's fancy. But we also have a new thing I've been working on, and I will be bringing it to Smurf, hopefully. I can't promise anything because dealing with logistics is a pain, as everybody who has knows. But we've been working for quite a while now, secretively behind the scenes, on a dedicated bed cleaner for printers.
A dedicated head cleaner.
No, bed cleaner
Oh, bed
for the PEI
cleaner.
bed. So it was when you said that you were having problems with your PEI due to moisture.
Yeah.
There must be a reason other than moisture that it's stopping. And we've done a load of research into like chemical bonding of the PEI to the plastics and all of this. And we have a new solution that isn't an adhesion aid.
Okay, yeah, say my Vision Miner NPA sitting behind me, so yeah.
Because that's one thing. You can add a material to make it stickier,
Right.
but you can't fix a dirty bed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one that we've been going with. So it's a lot safer than just isopropyl. It's a lot safer than like just putting Windex on stuff. There's a load of science that will be coming out closer towards full release. But long story short, soap and water will stop working eventually, no matter how many times you do it. There are ways to refresh it, but we've been looking at how like surfactants work with PEI, all of these other things, and we have a medically tested now safe chemical that basically returns PEI back to factory new.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm going to be coming out with samples, and I'll be giving them out at Smurf just to see what people think of them.
Yeah, Lee Dodd 1762 said, any chance of a link to the UK sponsor website, please, in the description. Construct-3d.com. Yeah, and you want to hit me, or should I do myself?
Do yourself. I have none of my notes, and I don't want to get it wrong. Just for everyone that should know that is watching, I personally recommend the 3D Musketeers service because they have helped me out tremendously. I have so many esoteric questions that are in knowledge fields that not many people would even care about. And 3D Musketeers, their entire team, have been on the point every single time.
And whether you need parts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning, we are happy to help you no matter where you are in the world. Give us a call. Phone number's on the website. Email us. Reach out to us. We do 3D printing, 3D scanning, rapid prototyping, CNC milling, laser cutting, CAD. We make stuff, and we know how to make it. We've been doing it for now. With 3DM, this is year 11. So we're not spring chickens to it. We run Artec 3D scanners for the most part. We have a Matter Inform 3. We've got a lot of gear, to say the least. So if you do want to get either some advice or some help, reach out to us, 3dmusketeers.com. We're always happy to help. And like the gentleman that called us at 9:30 last night, who thought we were a 2D printing facility, I will print your resumes for you. His was not a resume. I'm not going to go into what it was. It was a union thing, and that's all I'm going to go down. But we will print your resumes. It's not what we do, but we have a 2D printer. Like, we're happy to do it. And I'm not going to bill you for it. We will never bill somebody for getting a resume in the middle of the night. That is not... We're not going to make money on that kind of thing. If you need a resume in the middle of the night, you need a freaking resume. We'll help you out. It's not a problem. GP3D Design says multicolor resume on the XL, please. Ooh, and I've got some savory making sawsome for later in the show. Andrew Rogers with the $10. Thank you very much again. These are the only ads you will get is when we kind of interrupt the flow when it makes sense for us to talk about the sponsors that help make this show possible. If you do want to support the show, obviously, you can donate during the show live. You can make a monthly contribution for as little as $1 a month. And at the $10 tier and higher, you get to come hang out in our private Discord server where we do an after the show hangout every single show. So let's dig into, subscribe, I guess. Let's dig into this subject because we do this every year. I think this is your first year of doing it with us.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is because you came on You came on about a year ago.
Yeah,
right?
I came on in roughly February.
Okay.
I believe.
I know that we randomly had you call in for a safety factor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
and
quite fun. That was my first ever call into any show,
yeah.
and I really enjoyed it. It
And
was
then
really
people
good.
are like, "Oh, we don't hate him the way that we hate you. You should have him on more often." I'm like, "Okay, fine." And here we are.
You shouldn't be admitting that. I didn't know it was that.
I
I
mean,
know everyone's like weirdly kind to me in the YouTube comments, which is a very rare
they
thing.
are weirdly kind to you.
Like I have to go to Instagram comments to get my daily hate. Like, come on, YouTube, you're supposed to hate me.
I will say I have what I think to be potentially the funniest the funniest comment we've ever gotten on the channel that I just have to read real quick. And if you're in our Discord, it's in the comment of the day. It says, "Hi, followed your channel for years, but as a European, I unsubscribed. Following the actions of the DT administration, I hope your country will wake up before it's too late. Good luck." So they unsubscribed because of what the president is doing. I said, "Why should I be punished for something I have no control over? That seems not only unfair, but doing the exact thing you are claiming you are leaving over." They're punishing me for something
Ooh,
that I don't have control over because they're upset about it. But
yep,
by doing that, they're doing the exact same thing that the president is doing.
yep.
I just found that to be very funny and
There is an
timely.
irony to it.
Yeah. Um, and it's been brought up many times here, but the 3D printing 2A stuff that's been going on here in the States with Washington and New York State. Do you guys want like a Print Fix Friday on this? Like, I'm very hesitant to do an episode on this because it will be incredibly political. Like, there's really no way to not make it political these days. I I I want to know.
I know
I want to
personally,
know.
I'd be up for it because I just know a lot about additive in the military from the UK side. We don't really have a 2A problem
Hmm.
because we don't have 2A as a law. But just from like the manufacturing side, it is a very interesting and fun challenge. It's like rocketry. Things that go boom or things that go very fast are inherently interesting to me.
Well, it's that. So I think it's Washington State and New York State are trying to block the sale of 3D printers without software on them that block people's ability to 3D print firearms.
Ah, that is a problem. And I would love to go into the software and control challenges because that
So
is less about what they want, which is safety, and more about how abusable it is. And it's another slow erosion of people's choices away from them. And just saying,
all right, so let's do this. I will try to do a Print Fix Friday on it next week. If the Print Fix Friday actually gets decent views and doesn't turn into an absolute shit show for political comments and stuff, then we will do a podcast episode on it. But, you know, given the political tensions in the current day and some people's heavy sensitivity to those things, yeah, I'm doing my best to like play the side of this
yeah,
not I live in Florida. We're never going to get those laws and quite frankly I can go into heavy detail as to why those laws are never going to pass and it's political pandering, but who knows. Anyways, let's talk about making money with 3D printers. And the thing you should not be doing is manufacturing firearms for other people without a federal firearms license, because that is a minimum 10-year federal prison sentence
yeah.
where you will become someone's bitch within 10 minutes, I promise you. So don't do that. Don't be stupid. Don't make illegal things with 3D printers, please. And if you do it, make sure you follow the laws, please. We get enough, look, this industry gets enough bad press as it is, especially from people that don't understand the technology, don't understand the machinery, don't understand its capabilities and its limitations. Please don't add to that list. Thank you. Oh, and Mike C8101, welcome to Members Only Discord. Send me an email, just YouTube at 3dmusketeers.com, and I will get you into the Discord as soon as possible. So yeah, making money with 3D printers, dude. So we have had some discussions about setting up a print farm for you guys.
Yeah.
Basically utilizing your both in testing and in inventory machines as a method of, rather than having them sit idle or making parts for other machines, have a segment of them making parts for the general public, for your customers, as a hot side failover process, but also just for another way to bring in money, right? There is it is obvious to anybody that has a 3D printer, knows somebody with a 3D printer, or wants a 3D printer, that there is a effectively unlimited market that you can make parts for, right?
Pretty much. Like, even in the house alone, you could probably find 24 different things that you could turn into a product. And it doesn't have to be the very boring, like,
No.
standard shapes that you see from injection molding machines. Because we're not injection molding machines, we have a whole capability of other features and facets that can go into making a product. And that alone is worth money.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's just solving your own problems and then taking those problems and putting them out there is a huge first step in learning that sprint, if you will, that process from problem, iterative design, solution, and then there's a few question marks, which involves marketing, branding, and all that, and then there's profit, right?
Yep.
That is kind of the core competency of what product development is. Doing it for yourself, for friends, or for family to start is the best way, in my opinion, and seems though it's in your opinion as well, to learn this process in a meaningful way that doesn't put you $20,000 or $30,000 in debt from going to college, right?
Pretty much.
You're learning ahead of time.
I'll even say now. So we've just hired a new install engineer. So hi, Cam, if you're watching.
Who?
Cameron Olden.
Oh.
Yeah. So hello, if you're watching. He's fantastic. He's never worked in the additive sector at all. He does do engineering sector, but he's not. He doesn't have a lot of the stigma that comes with I'm an engineer, I know what I'm doing. And that was the best thing that we got from them. Was we trained him up for basically just 2 weeks, and he's more knowledgeable than most people in the industry now, just because he's not coming from engineering background and being forced to relearn everything. He's just come in with an open mind and got started. And that's why I don't generally appreciate like the university level courses, because they're both out of date by the time they start taking them, and they give them bias. And the thing with 3D printers is they're so universally competent. Bias is the one thing that stops you from making certain decisions, because you get told, always use this fastener, always use this material for this. It's not that simple.
No.
You can only learn those techniques through experience.
And not only is it not that simple, but things change rapidly. Let's say you went to college for additive manufacturing, assuming it was just for filament, right? Because metals haven't changed a ton. But 2019, you went to college for filament 3D printing, and you learned the filament 3D printing of 2019 and prior, and you never learned 2020, 2021, 2022, or 2023. You missed the renaissance of Bamboo Lab and what they've done to this industry. So you've come out of college with all this experience on how to program Marlin, and oh yeah, pretty much nobody is running Marlin anymore, and that becomes an issue. It's some of the best advice my father has ever given me. Dad has a few fundamental like dadisms that you'll hear me repeat a lot, like the 2 fundamental rules in life. Rule number 1 is don't be a dick. Rule number 2 is if you're going to be a dick, be a big one. But you never choose rule number 2. Somebody else must choose it for you. They must first be at a position of escalation. Then you look, if you match their energy, that's on them, not on you. But the other one is you hire for personality, and you hire for the give a damn training. You don't hire for what's on their resume, right? Yep. A resume is just a professional Tinder profile. That's all it is. It's just the best of the best that I want you to see and nothing else, right? But in reality, you can have all the right degrees, but you might just be so burnt out that you don't give a damn anymore. That give a damn training is the one thing you can't teach somebody. They're either going to care or they're not. And if you're in this industry saying, I have the give a damn, but I don't have the engineering degrees, guess what? I don't either. And the bulk of our engineering team doesn't either. none of like how many. I think there's like 2 of our 6 engineers that actually have engineering degrees. Most of them just have F around and find out degrees, right?
Yep.
The Sisyphus School of Engineering, or the Sisyphus School of Business in my case. You know, don't don't think that, oh, I don't have the right degrees, I can't do it. Bullshit. And if you're saying, oh, Grant, you're speaking from a position here. The printed solid video was edited by someone who came to us with zero editing experience. And while it is not a perfect video, we ended up finding a couple of errors once it was posted. I am so incredibly happy with that video, and you guys have no idea the first Formnext video that's coming out.
Oh, I was trying not to say because I wasn't sure.
Dude, it is.
That Formnext video is hot.
And I'm sure he's listening. It's editor Adam. He almost always, watches the shows, but he came to us with zero experience in editing. He wanted a career shift, and we helped him out with it. And yeah, I mean,
I dare say that was probably the best choice that we've made in a hot minute. It was a long shot, and it's paid off tremendously.
There's only one issue that I have with Adam. It's getting...
Is it too good?
He goes so far sometimes. It's like, buddy, we're not there yet. Let's back it. His give a damn training is so high that I have to kind of cut it down every now and then because he's gone so far into this. And it's like,
I mean, he has fully eclipsed me in terms of the ability to understand Resolve. And I thought I was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just there like, hey, Adam, could you tell me about this now?
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's a lovely feeling just having someone who cares about what they do.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's why I ended up hiring my install engineer. It wasn't because he had skills or because it would be a pain to train him up. He gave a damn. And literally, as I was training him, this is what really like twigged me on, was he immediately was like, oh, if your printers can do this, I have this entire industry that's ripe for the taking. Do you think I could borrow a few machines to test out if we could do a thing? And I'm like, yeah, go on, pop off, King. Because seriously, like he's had these ideas just from seeing the machines.
Yep.
Understand the limitations and be like, we could do a thing here.
Yep.
And he's just running with it. And it's that just level of, I don't want to say like childlike curiosity, because it's not childlike, but it's this very enthusiastic.
It makes a big difference. It does. It takes someone from they simply do what they're told and nothing else to someone that is willing to question what they're told, willing to find reasons as to why they're questioning it, and provide you with fact-based evidence to support their decisions. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. I'm getting yelled at in the chat by one of our other team members, Mad Cat USA, here saying editing, engineering, no writing. To be fair, Mad Cat, you came to us with experience in writing. It wasn't in technical writing. It was in medical writing, but you came to us with experience in writing. Mad Cat is honestly another perfect example of, and who put it? GP3D Design says, create a business that attracts the type of people you want. We literally have done that. Mad Cat, again, started off as a fan, came on. We made a random like, hey, we're looking for writers. He's like, I think I could do it. Gave him a test. I said, you didn't use AI at all, did you? He's like, no. He just had a birthday. He turned 60. He's like, I don't know AI. It's not what I do. He writes everything by hand. And his writing skill is tremendous. We are going to be building a pretty serious website, wiki, and all that. So stay tuned. And Mad Cat will be the lead writer on that entire project. But yeah, and that's more about expanding your team. When you're just getting started, I wouldn't worry about not having everything perfect. If you have everything perfect, you've already missed the curve, right?
Yep.
And again, it's the perfect example. If you don't believe me, go look at Apple's first logo. It has Isaac Newton in it. And if you think that Apple computers had any idea what the hell they were doing with a logo with freaking Isaac Newton in it, the answer is absolutely 100% no. They had no idea, and none of that is getting better. they had to make rebrands. They had to just keep changing their company until it made sense for what they wanted. So, yeah. So, I think the biggest pitfall for newbies wanting to make money. Well, Jacob, what do you think the biggest pitfall is for newbies wanting to make money?
Undervaluing yourselves. Always. I always see people make something really cool, put in loads of effort, design this part, spend hundreds of hours, and then sell it on Etsy for £5. No.
Yeah.
No. Your material, you might be earning your money back on that. You're not valuing your time, you're not valuing your design effort, you're not valuing what my new favorite saying when it comes to valuing yourself, value add. What is the added value to the part you're giving to the person? That is the easiest way to value what it's worth. If you make a 5p part and it saves £1 million thing from failing, congratulations, that's at least worth a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
Because that's the value of what you're adding, is that they don't have to spend £1 million in a couple of months. Value add is the easiest way to actually value what you're doing, but nobody does it. Nobody considers, like, what is it worth?
So I think one of the pitfalls that creates this is Etsy, because people see all these, sellers that are selling hundreds of thousands, if not millions of parts a year. And what they don't realize is the cost to run a business of that scale. And so, like you alluded to, they just try to compete on price. And it is a huge issue, right? Yes, there are certain areas of the world where your cost of living is considerably lower. That doesn't mean your price should be lower. There's another big content creator, streamer, not going to mention them by name, but their biggest advice for people is just to do it cheaper. And I wholeheartedly disagree. Not only do I disagree, it got me banned from their stream because I disagreed with it. I said,
Hilarious.
There are absolutely some places where competing on price makes sense, but the consumer market is not one of them, right? One, I don't think that outside of like your own little like geographical bubble, that trying to compete in any B2C market is worth it. In today's day and age, 3D printers are simply too expensive and too slow when it comes to production to compete with anything that can be injection molded. And I promise you, if your design is any good, it will get stolen. Yep. If you do something that is
it's a badge
unique,
of honor. If your design gets stolen, you've got a good design.
I don't know if it's a badge of honor. It feels like theft because it is theft.
Oh no, it feels like shit.
Yeah.
But it's a badge of honor. It's like I got my first hateful comment just under a year ago. I'm like, I've made it. I've got the YouTube hate comment. Let's go.
I thought your badge of honor was when we got flown to Sweden when you were only like 60 days into this show.
Oh no. Badge of honor meaning I'm now like I've done the YouTube experience is the hate comment. Being a professional YouTuber coming after 60 days going to Sweden was like, oh damn.
I was wondering
I have to change how I introduce myself now.
I was wondering if Gabe was in the show, and he is. Lucky 13 Toys saying I would like fewer badges of honor, please. Yeah. I mean, and Gabe's story is probably one of the most prolific out there. He made a model that I don't think he was expecting to blow up the way that it did. He released it under effectively full open source, and it's been copied so many times by injection molding companies and things like that it's almost disheartening to him. Gabe, we should have a show where we talk about this like properly, because I think there are other designers out there that need to hear it, but from a physical part system, solving problems for others is the best way to make money. And like Jacob says, you need to value your time based on the things that you are solving, okay? So I'm trying to think of one that I can talk about. A company that had us make a drone nose cone. Okay. a big one. Okay, it's 24 inches tall, about 12 inches in diameter, big nose cone.
That's pretty big.
Simply to get blown up. It was I can't talk about the specific drone, but it was to get blown up for a thing. Let's go with a test, if you will. You can't buy this drone. It's a military drone. You can't buy the parts because it's a not US military drone. So we had to make it. And they needed it fast. Both of those things, custom design and you need it yesterday, come with a pretty serious markup. We have a gentleman right now who we're working with to do a vehicle, a small vehicle, about 5 inches long, and he needs 50 of them, and he needs them by Friday. I don't think it's going to be possible. I'm going to try, but I don't think it's going to be possible. The money that they are offering, I'm not certain, really kind of covers the amount of time and the problem that we're solving, but we'll see. You know, I need to really determine what this all looks like to determine if it makes sense for us financially, but there are certain times where jobs will come in and it's like, oh, yeah, no, we'll do this, no problem. We had a gentleman the other day, buddy, you're at like half of FPS over there. You good?
I think either the internet died or my laptop just went into power saver mode for a second. I think it's the
you're better.
Power saver mode.
You're better now. Screw power saver. We had a gentleman that always needs parts from us overnight. This part required the XL or any tool changer, right? I should say any tool changer could have done it. He needed it overnight and he needed it so fast, they sent an Uber to come and get it.
Ooh.
The price for the part, I charged $350. The normal price for that part was $175.
I still think you were underselling it then.
I probably did. I doubled it, right? I doubled the price. Doubling the price was more than acceptable to me to just run it overnight. Now, we took a pretty serious risk in that if something failed, we wouldn't be able to get it to them the next day. But we trust our machines, and they came through. And that was pretty easy money. And they paid it within 10 minutes of getting the invoice. So they're happy.
Okay, wow. Yeah, they are happy.
And this person, they've always done this with us. It's always last minute, and that's fine. They don't question the money. In fact, sometimes they say, we're willing to pay this much for it. If you're under that, charge us that amount. If you're over it, we can discuss. Okay. We have an established rapport with each other where the problem that they have is speed. They need stuff done now. They're willing to pay for it. There are many people out there that aren't willing to pay for it. If they're not willing to pay for your time, don't work with them. It's that simple. And I understand when you're young and you're new at this, if the money is there, I don't care is a perfectly reasonable business practice. But as you learn, as you have your first client that needs an overnight project that literally keeps you up all night because your printers know you're under stress and they all decide to fail, the first time that happens to you, you'll realize, I am not charging enough money for this.
Yep.
And sometimes we get lucky and we can like get it through somebody's head early on, but oftentimes you can't, right? It's difficult. It's difficult. You know, and
it's a mindset that is counterintuitive to what everyone's taught in like basic business practices, which is supply and demand. You supply cheaper, you get higher demand. It's not that simple. A lot of the times the values are already fixed. So demand doesn't change.
Yep.
Supply doesn't really change. You can play within certain boundaries. So for example, if you are on Amazon, that's where being cheaper tends to be better. You get more sales, you go to the top of the page, you sell it even more.
B2C is all about money. Yep.
But that doesn't always mean be the cheapest. Because if you also know on Amazon, The second result is normally double to triple the price, because it's not always about sheer quantity or about being cheaper. It's that customers are impulse purchase most of the time. B2C is impulse purchase. If your value and your aesthetic is high enough, they won't care what the price is. Some people are willing to spend more just for that feel good vibe of this is a better product, even if it's not. And that also goes for when it's now B2B, or you're doing like in-person talking, especially if it's in person. They won't be shopping around.
No.
They've already decided to come to you. You now can give them the response back.
Yep.
And that is your biggest like benefit, and your biggest power is online. You need to send adverts out, and those adverts you can do to pre-filter things. So Console 3D did an advert. We made sure the price of our printer was in the advert, so people won't click the advert if it's already above their price point. It's a great way to like minimize the cost, because we get charged every time somebody clicks it.
Right.
And it pre-filters people to the website, so they don't open the website and they go, whoa, that's 3 times more expensive than a bamboo lab that catches fire. You can do that as a way to pre-filter things. In person, however, the pre-filtering is already done. If they came to you from an in-person thing that they couldn't get off the internet, you don't need to be cheap. You don't need to be cheaper than an online equivalent of it. They came to you. And that is one of the best things you can do. And that allows you to charge. And I don't charge a little anymore. Like the biggest piece of advice I got from Grant was when I was doing print service just by myself, I was earning decent money. It was all right. It wasn't massive things. Like I made a rib cage for someone for 100 quid each. They took 8 hours to print, and I made 100 quid on like 300 grams of material. I'm like, brilliant. And then Grant looked at me and gone, Jacob, you're an absolute buffoon.
Yeah, I would have charged like 5x that.
500 to 800
each.
And then I looked at him and been like, damn, you're right. In one item, I could have made all my money, and they ordered 6.
Yep.
And they asked for overnight because it was an emergency, which I should have doubled it even again. Because the way that I do emergency printing is I always run 2 machines. Of course. Just so in case one fails, I have a failover.
Yep. And if it doesn't, you have a nice sample part that you get to show off.
Yep. And that's the thing, is like, they came to us because we're their last port of call. And it was important enough that they just want to throw money at a solution.
Yep.
That's what you can charge now. So keep that in mind, because nobody does it. Even now, like, I have to fight myself constantly about undervaluing the service I provide, because I'm used to it. I'm used to being like, oh yeah, just do this, design it in this way, get it done, next.
So
other people aren't.
Somebody, and I'm trying to see where it was, but someone, and I'm missing the comment. I can't. There it is. Alan Day 5255. What if they're using your print to make molds? So this is pretty much exactly why we don't have an auto quoting system. Because if you're coming from a company like Lockheed Martin and you're using an auto quoting system, you're going to pay the same price that Joe Blow off the street is going to pay. And that's not how that should go. If you need aerospace grade components carry aerospace grade parts and prices that are extra zeros, multiple extra zeros above what the average person will pay. And then further, it allows people to price shop. And we're not going to be the cheapest. We've said that many times. If you're trying to get the cheapest 3D printing in Tampa Bay, it ain't us. It's never going to be us, because we will never compete on price. If you want the best service, if you want effectively a concierge of additive manufacturing, call us. It's that simple. We will hold your hand the entire way. We will give you photos if you want them. If you want us to make videos with your parts, hey, there's price options for that too. And we're different. If you just want something cheap, go find somebody on Facebook that doesn't know the value of their own time.
Yep.
We do, and we charge for it. And the people will say, oh, you're too expensive. Okay. We had one customer do over $50,000 a year last year. They clearly don't think that we're too expensive. In fact, they asked us, are you raising your prices this year? You know, we normally have a bit of leeway for price raising. I said, not right now, no. Well, hasn't your cost gone up? It has. Well, why aren't you raising your price? Because we don't want to play this nickel and dime game with you guys. It's much easier for me to say we will eat the current additional costs associated with labor, with machines, with uptime, and things like that. Once it starts to become a little bit too overbearing, then we can discuss a slight price adjustment. But you will know 90 days in advance. So if you want to preload a bunch of orders before the price goes up, you're welcome to. We're not just going to arbitrarily raise our price, right? And that level of service matters. It matters a lot.
Oh, it does. That's what keeps repeat customers, is knowing that you're not a corporate entity, that you have a heart. And that is probably the other bit of big advice, is care about your customers. Give them advice, even if it's like counterintuitive.
Yep.
Because they highly value it. It's like, hell, I can even say this. I have made more sales for Console 3D by recommending cheaper Chinese printers.
Because they tried them and
came
they come
to me. No, it's not even that. They come to me and being like, hey, I want one of your printers. And I talk to them about it. I'm like, hey, you might actually want to consider a £200 printer. You might want to consider a £500 printer.
Yep.
It will get like 90% of what you need. Just keep in mind these caveats and everything. And they appreciated the honesty so much that they ended up deciding to come to us anyway, because they know, at least if they ever had a problem, we're going to treat them with the same respect of what's in their best interest, not just, yeah, here's a repair thing, go do it on your own. And that has been one of the key things that means people keep coming to us. Like even now, so we have an installation at a college from 3 years ago. They were in part of our first batch of printers. I got a text message from the guy who bought the printers, just asking for a tiny little bit of advice. Just tiny little bit of advice. Like, they keep coming back because they know that we're there for them. Yep. And they already know, like, when they need more printers, we're still here. And they're probably going to go with us because they still use them and they let the kids on them. No other college I know lets the kids on the printers because they're afraid they get damaged. They're comfortable because they know that we can.
And that, again, like we talked about earlier, the give a damn training, right? A place that has an auto quoter doesn't care. You're either going to choose them or you're not. Your part's going to arrive when your part arrives. They might have like an ERP system that emails you with different steps of the process. They don't give a damn. You have to submit a form, or you can just directly email us files. If that is too much for you, okay, fine. You're not the right fit for us, right? Again, it becomes a what do you want to do? And part of this problem that people run into is because the machines can do everything, they also want to do everything with those machines. How do you feel about that, Jacob?
Wait, say it again, because I was just reading the comments and my dyslexic ass immediately purged the last sentence in my head.
So because 3D printers can do everything and make anything, people that start to want to make money with them have that same process of, well, I can make anything, so I don't have a target audience. How do you feel about that?
Oh, no, I have that. Even I have that. The easy one is, while you don't have a target audience, don't look at your capability being the target audience. Look at the product. Your product has a target audience. That's how you differentiate. If you're making automotive parts, cool, your 3D printer can still make everything. But your product is automotive only. That's what you focus on.
Yeah, having a business that, look, if someone comes to us with a part from an industry that we don't really work in, we might consider it, but there are certain times where it's like, no, this isn't really the type of work that we do. Often it's the sculpting work that comes in. We don't have many sculptors anymore. So like sculpting style work is just not in our repertoire. So we turn it away. Okay, no big deal. Ultimately, if you don't pick a target audience, or at least a couple of them, and you try to feed everybody, you will fail.
Yeah.
You will simply fail. And look, there's nothing wrong with failing as long as you learn from it, especially early on. When you're 10 years into business, you don't have the ability to fail anymore, right? You really have to learn your lessons early on. This is the idea of the fail fast and fail forward, right? If you continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, it's time to move away and do something else because you're not learning from those mistakes, right? You have to look at basically doing a post-mortem of this is the project, this is what happened, what went wrong, and how can we ensure that this doesn't happen again? That is the big deal when you're working with other businesses. Look, things are going to go wrong. I literally have a part sitting in the house here, should have gone out. I shipped out a client's parts and one piece was missing out of it. They haven't figured it out yet. I already contacted the customer and said, hey, you're missing a part from this order. It hasn't arrived to you yet. I had a big pile of parts that I was taking out to sand and clean up, and they fell. I thought I picked them all up, but I didn't. I found one, so my count must have been off. I will ship this out to you Tuesday because Monday's a mail holiday. I can't. So I will ship this out to you on Tuesday. It should arrive within a day or two of the other pieces. It is this part, so do this one first where you have all the pieces. The customer got back to me, and it was like literally late last night. They're like, awesome, thank you, greatly appreciated, no worries. Done. Mistakes will happen. But if you don't learn from those mistakes, you're bound to make them over and over again. Like politics.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't lie your way out of mistakes. They just look hard on you.
No, yeah, you can't. It's something that we talk about heavily. Failure resides solely on my shoulders. So if it's related to 3D Musketeers, the failure resides solely on my shoulders. Right?
Yep.
The success is on the shoulders of everybody else. Right? That's where this goes. Right? I want to talk very publicly about our successes and how the team made it happen. If we want to talk about the failures, I can talk about them, but it's a little bit difficult because I don't want to throw any of our staff under the bus unless they already threw themselves under the bus. Then there's nothing I can do about it. But, I want to talk about where we do good. I want to talk about where we do bad as well, but it's no one's fault but mine.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
I mean, that might legitimately be a good podcast episode because there's loads of stuff behind the scenes that as a company from my side, you don't want to necessarily air out because it's just a bad look. But it's not something we hide either. It's I can say right now, one of them, timelines slip for us all the time. We're a small team. We keep biting off more than we can chew, but it's more environmental impacts that mess us up. Like when we're getting ready for something and something fails just at the 11th hour, we're like, bollocks, that's going to push our timelines. And that's just something that we own up to all the time. It's why we have a 6-week estimated timeline for building printers. It only takes us 4 days to build a printer. But every time we try and push faster and faster time arounds, something crops up, like a single connector suddenly has a failed batch and we bin the entire batch. It's literally just happened. So we've got 500 wobble wings come in for our bed gantry assemblies. All of them have failed. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the manufacturing tolerancing on those parts was just out of it, where the push fit, friction fit parts aren't friction fit anymore. So we are, at the moment, manually stripping them, lubing them, friction fitting them back in with a bit of added material. Yeah. But that pushes timelines, and that means development slows down, and then that pushes on more timelines, and it just keeps compounding. One of my big pushes for this year is do less to do more.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
going to be a hard one because, in part of do less to do more, we've got 5 major projects for this year.
Welcome
Oh,
to being early stages, baby.
oh.
So Ra asks, how do you come up with pricing for a part for an industry you're not familiar with, so you don't know what value you're adding? Basic material, of course, and printer time, but what about the part? So that's all about the initial customer acquisition time. When someone reaches out to us, we always ask, what is it for and why? And sometimes people are like, why do you need to know? Well, we need to understand this because we need to understand the value that we are providing, right? If all you want is a basic part, then we'll give you a basic part. But like the school that reached out to us asking for Ultem, and I said, hold on, why do you need Ultem? Which is, most places are going to say, here's your price. I wanted to know, why do you need Ultem? They told us why. I said, you don't need Ultem for that. You can easily use ABS, ASA, polycarbonate, any of that. You don't need to use Ultem. So we took them from a $3,000 or $4,000 part to a $300 to $400 part. And they were very happy with it. Now, schools are a little bit different where, I am more than happy to cut deals and things like that because teachers don't make enough money. If they're buying with a school budget, they pay full price. If they're buying with personal budget, I do my best to make it as close to free as possible. But in new industries, one, look it up, right? If you're on the phone with somebody and they call in and they're asking you all these questions, hey, what company do you work for? Okay. Quickly on another monitor, Google what company they're with. Figure out what their company does. If you can, if they're publicly traded, just add a 0. But figure out who they are, what they do, and what the perceived value is of this. We ask questions like, is this a one-off piece? Is this a multiple piece? Is this going to result in more orders in the future? Or is this, hey, you just need this one little part? Those questions matter so much.
They do.
And that can readily help you understand. Now, I don't want to give away too many of the secrets because there are some questions that can really help determine this, but it's different for every person. I will say, to me, the signing of the death certificate is when they use the word just. Just is the signing of a death certificate for us and a client. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's just that. The word just followed by the thing they need proves they don't understand the value of what it is you're doing. And at that point, I normally say, I totally understand, unfortunately, and I'll give some answer. Often it's a bit of an excuse like, oh, we're too busy right now, we don't have the throughput. But in reality, it's, I can tell you're going to be a problem, and I don't want to work with you. It's a very polite way of saying, thanks, but no thanks. There'll be times where we no-bid jobs. Like, we get emails, and sometimes I'll reply back saying, due to unforeseen circumstances, we are opting to no-bid this project. Right, which is, we've seen it, we recognize it. However, we don't want to do it for whatever reason. We are choosing to submit a no bid.
See, I've always done it the other way. You bid way too high.
Nope.
So you give them the I will only do this if it's worth this much to me. So instead of, if let's say a project is $200, just easy numbers, $200, and I don't want to do the project, I'm putting down like $4,000. Because if they really want it that badly and I don't want to be doing it, at least give me the enough money that my brain turn off and just goes ching.
There are certain times where there is not an amount of money that you could pay me to deal with it. Like, I mean, we would be talking like maybe 40 grand, sure, but there are certain types of customers, and it is almost always when they don't understand the value that you're providing, those the types of customers that I will not waste my time on, nor will I waste the team's time on it. It's not worth it. The same way that companies that reach out to us for all these AI things, the amount of money that we've gotten offered to us to talk about these random AI projects in emails from companies to talk about it in videos could fund the YouTube channel for a quarter.
You should be sending me those emails because I can vet them for you. I can tell you if it's BS or not.
I don't need to vet them. I don't want to do it. It is completely against the core values of who we are as a company. We don't use AI, right? And we don't recommend it. It's garbage. If you want to do design work, learn how to design or pay somebody to design for you. Or be like Andy Miller and give $5 and say, hey, great stream, great real world examples.
Thank you,
appreciated.
Andy.
Who then also joined for basic support. Enjoy, like, we just posted almost 3 hours of 360 footage from China. But yeah, it's, you have to know your limits. You know, the know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You have to set those lines in the sand and don't keep moving the line. You have to set a line. We have certain lines in the sand for projects that we won't touch, right? So like if you call us for anything firearm related, unless it is like a custom grip, we're not touching it. I understand that for the vast majority of it, it's completely legal. Don't care. It's not worth it. It's not worth someone doing something stupid with one of our parts attached to their firearm and then us getting dragged through the mud. It's not worth it. It's like if we've had a few people recently reach out to do custom grips for like 1911s. 2 out of the 3 were competition shooters. And I verified this by Googling them. I have more than enough faith that they're trying to do better in their competitions. They want scales that fit their hands better. Totally understand. One was for a 2011, but close enough.
It's close enough.
Yeah. And then a third was a collector who wanted a very unique 1911, and I was okay with that as well. I asked the story. If I can get something that hits those marks for me, fine. But if it doesn't, it doesn't.
I think for you, it's the you can sleep at your night price. Like the fact that you can sleep happily is your litmus test. It's like for AI, for me, for example, like obviously everyone's just heard like you're very against it. I'm actually not as against it as a lot of people assume.
So I should be clear.
I'm with ethical use of AI.
Correct.
And that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Also, for reference, because everybody keeps forgetting this, if you use AI, you've automatically broken your anti-slavery acts because all AI is based on Amazon MTurk, which is modern-day slavery. You're welcome. But yeah, like I'm all here for the use of AI. It just has to be correctly done. It can't be for the sake of it.
We don't want to replace any of our staff with AI. We want to augment them. We want them to be made more powerful by having access to tools. We don't want to replace them. And that is a company ethos. I recognize that means that we have a higher cost of goods sold and a higher overall expenditure for our business. I don't care. Because again, we don't compete on price. Nick said, Grant, if you get an offer to talk about NTOP, do it. It is a crazy design software that Dave makes things uses for modeling. I know all about NTOP. I've used NTOP. We actually have an NTOP modeler on our staff. NTOP is a piece of software that if you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it. It runs, depending on what you need, between $15,000 and $25,000 a year, last I checked, per seat. It is a very, very, very nice piece of software. But it is very specific. It is used heavily in aerospace, but it's not AI. They might call it AI now, but it's generative design is what it is. And there's a fundamental difference between those two things. So, yeah. So don't go around with a hammer making holes in the walls so you can make a product that fills holes in the walls. You need to determine if a product has market fit before you go to market with it.
Yep.
One We cater a lot to first-time inventors that want to bring their product to market, and 99 times out of 100, I tell them, that's dumb. Because they come with an idea, but they come with no market research, no target audience, no nothing. And we tell them, this is what you need to get before we will work with you. And they always get defensive and say, why? Why won't you just make my part? Well, because you're going to expect the part that we make to be successful. If you haven't done your homework, no matter how good of a part that we make, you're going to be the one that fails, and you're going to blame it on some stupid little thing on our part that didn't meet your very precise needs. It's happened more than once, and it's why we put in barriers. And is it a little gatekeepy? Kind of. However, there's evidence to back it up. So much evidence, in fact, that I was voted onto the board of directors for our local Inventors Council because of the work that we do. The no BS examples and talks about inventing and telling people, I'm not here to take your money. We will gladly take your money if you disagree with me, fine. But generally speaking, I'm going to tell you you need a bunch of homework to do. That's the work that needs to be done. And if you don't come with that, we don't want you as a customer because we want you to be successful.
It's just going to look bad on you. Well, and you don't want it to look bad on them. And that's the big thing. It's like market segment analysis is an area that people forget about. They get very entrenched with the ideas they have without realizing the world has over 8 billion people. There is infinite cognition out there. Everyone is thinking of ways to solve things or live their lives or fix things. There is a reason you don't have every individual fix on the market, because it's not always about this being 1% better. It's about there is catchment zones. It's why you don't have 10,000 different supermarket chains. You only have a few. Yep. Because they make loads of money. You could start a supermarket chain, but there's saturation, there's targeted analysis. You have to look at who your customers are, what goes on in their daily lives. Literally, if you go to a marketing firm, they will ask you, what is your segment analysis? And if you don't have it, they will charge the earth to do it, but it's not hard. They will just be like, okay, your market segment's worth this much. You can actually access this much. Of that, you will actually get this much. And it keeps shrinking until you're like, oh yes, this £100 billion industry, I can only access £10,000 of it. And then they'll turn around going, your product's not worth it. Because £10,000 is nothing when you want to do manufacturing or sell a product or do anything.
The average product to get it to market, sitting in the shelves of a Walmart, Target, whatever, it is $250,000. And if you are not able to take that money, pile it up at the front of your house, light it on fire, and feel nothing other than the heat coming off of the fire, you are not ready to go to the next step. So if you're entering this saying, I'm an inventor, I want to 3D print my parts, and I want to sell it to the average consumer, fine. Understand that your cost to 3D print will be higher than your cost to injection mold, and if you're using that to rapidly iterate, then use your potential target audience to provide you with feedback, things like that. Dude, clap, clap. That is exactly what this technology is for. 3D printing doesn't replace anything in the industry. It augments. Same thing with AI for us. We want AI to augment. 3D printing is an augmentation on manufacturing. It makes it affordable and easy, but on only a small scale. If you wanted to make 10,000 pieces, generally speaking, 3D printing is the wrong option for you. You should be looking at something else, whether it's resin molding, it's silicone-based molding, roto forming, things like that. There are so many different ways to do it that are faster, easier, more affordable, and produce a better product than 3D printing. So those are all very important.
So we've just got a really nice super chat from
50
Rara. Thank you.
freaking dollars. Thank you for that.
It's lovely.
Greatly
How do
appreciated.
you factor in the equipment like a £25,000 scanner, £15,000 printer, Geomagic, Material, PEP, Ultim, etc.? My logic tells me I need hundreds of jobs before being able to afford the equipment, which isn't sustainable. Where's the disconnect between my logic and reality?
There isn't.
Good question. There isn't.
Yeah. You do the same thing that every other business does. You outsource. You find someone who you're willing to partner with on a strategic alliance level. The word partnership is kind of a dirty word that involves paperwork. Strategic alliance, just like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you, parts for X amount of retail value. You sell them at retail. When you're ready to buy your own machine, you buy your own machine. We do wholesale work for quite a few 3D printing companies where our farm picks up their whatever extra time. Same thing goes for scanners. Now, you can do the thing that I do, which is on the scanner side of things, at least, watch eBay and, gray markets like a hawk. However, you have to be willing to take the risk that eBay and other gray markets can come with some challenges associated with it.
Yep.
But if you're willing to accept those challenges and you understand the level of risk you're willing to take, you can often get a very good deal on either current grade 3D scanners or one generation old 3D scanners that aren't as good as the current generation, but they're nowhere near as bad as, the current generation may want you to think. But the other thing is you can start smaller. So Geomagic, for years we outsourced it to a local guy. And sometimes we still do, who charges me very little, like $30 an hour. And I'm more than willing to pay it to do Geomagic work for us. It's $10,000 a year piece of software, right? Just find someone to do it for you. Outsource the things that you can't do, but also don't start with offering all of those high-end things. Yes, those high-end things come with high-end money, but you can make very good margins making parts for people without them needing to be out of peak, PEC, Ultem, stuff like that, right? You don't need a $15,000 printer. Yeah.
You don't need a 25K scanner when a 2K scanner can get you 90% the capability.
If not more.
You don't need a 15 grand printer. If you're only printing for, say, consumers in the home, PLA is probably still your base material you're going to go to.
PLA, PETG.
You don't need an industrial output printer unless you have a very specific use case. It's the same with like your software packages. Almost all software package, there is a cheaper or free version of it that just comes with a couple of extra caveats.
Yep.
You don't necessarily need to go straight to the nth degree with this is the best machine for my use case, this is the best scanner for my use case, because most of the time making do is still more than good enough.
Right.
And it's like, as I was saying, like, hell, I sell a 15 grand printer. It is not going to be high volume. Like, it's not going to be throwing out the doors all the time, but it's for the people who desperately need one or two more features and they're willing to spend 10 grand more compared to a much cheaper printer. Like, if you just want to make parts and they want to be done like slightly faster, you got to pay for that. Or you just buy two cheaper printers and you still save yourself 10 grand. Like, it is a decision, not a requirement to have the expensive end use stuff. And it's how you use them. It's like photography. You don't need a good camera to be a good photographer. You need to know how to use a camera to be a good photographer. Same with all the equipment. You do not need a good 3D printer to do good 3D printing. You just need to learn the limits and the tricks of the trade.
Yep.
And you can get all the quality and performance you want out of that as long as you keep it reasonable.
I will say with 3D printers and business, you do need to understand the legal implications of what you're doing. If a client requires you to sign a non-disclosure and you have a machine that is internet connected, you need to verify that the machine is not logging, not storing data, not doing things it shouldn't be doing. Because in the event that there is a data breach, the I didn't know doesn't keep you from being sued. It's why we air gap everything. Prussia's. I would air gap a construct. We air gap all of our machines. Does it mean that we spend more labor going to machines? Hell yeah, absolutely. But I don't care. We have NDAs, we have ITAR and CMMC work that if that data was to leave our hands unauthorized, I can be charged with high treason against the United States. And that's not, overblowing something. That is actually what can happen. Will it happen? Probably not. But it can happen.
Yep.
Right? Be very careful about data.
So Rara says, for the auto industry, race cars and custom cars.
Sure. I'm a car guy, right? I'm a car guy. I've done lots of car parts. Hell, I'm going to be doing a bunch of parts on my car. We'll talk about that toward the end with the high school.
Yep.
But you need to look at what they need. If it is peak, PEC, Ultem, fine. So be it. Price it accordingly, right?
Yep.
Peak is
if they're wanting 3D printed parts out of peak, PEC, and Ultem, you can probably charge 10 grand at a time for parts.
Pretty easily.
Like, if they're needing that level of sophistication, you're not doing it for hobbyists on the cheap. You're doing it for professionals who need a very particular reason to go without overdoing it out something cheaper. However, if it's the latter, you don't need peak, PEC, and Ultem then. You could maybe look at PPSU or PPA or carbon fiber PET. These are all completely acceptable parts, and I have a real world use case that I've done myself. So I did a job for MIA. It's a... Don't ask me what the acronym is. I'm dyslexic. It's out of my head. But it's a racing alliance. They have two very high quality cars. One's a Lotus Aventa, I think. Evora. There we go. A Lotus Evora.
Which one of us is the car guy in this chat?
I'm not.
It's not
guy.
him.
I am intrigued by the engineering, but I do not remember the name.
Love cars.
And they came to us with a problem, and they were like, "Yeah, we need it out of carbon fiber PEEK, and we want to recirculate the air inside the manifold and everything because it freezes too fast." And I looked at him, but "Yep, you don't need PEEK. You don't. You just need carbon fiber PET. It's $40 a kilo. If you want to go with the
could have been an Amira.
$70 a kilo.
Was it an Amira or an Evora? It could have been both.
I think it could have been an Amira.
And maybe
but an Evora was... They had several very expensive, £250,000 to £500,000 race cars.
I was going to say, Lotus doesn't make cars that expensive, but if they're, GP level...
Souped.
Yeah.
They're souped.
Yeah.
Literally, the hubcaps were forged carbon fiber and molybdenum.
Cool.
They were spenny.
For them, 10 grand on a part,
doesn't matter.
Write the check, write the check. And very clear for those that are looking to do high-end stuff. If it is over $1,000 and it is the first time you're working with this customer, you do not take credit cards. They can pay you via wire transfer. If it is over $1,000, don't take a credit card. Just don't. Now,
I don't take PayPal if it's over $2 grand in the UK because they can charge you back on it, and we are not risking that.
Right, and that's the big thing are chargebacks. You will almost always lose your chargebacks. We've gotten lucky. I lost my first chargeback last year. For the first time in 10 years, I lost chargeback. It was for a fair bit. It was more I was pissed off that I wasted a bunch of time on it than anything else. So, someone's in the pylon drilling industry and wants a bunch of data from 3D scans of pylon drilling equipment, hit me up. I'll give it to you. Unless your name is the client who owes me a bunch of money and I'm pissed off at. But yeah, if the job is over $1 grand and it's your first time working with us, it was because of that client. We have instituted, we do not accept credit cards if it is over $1,000 your first time. Your first time, it is a bank check, which is different than a regular, personal check, or it is a wire transfer. We will cover the wire transfer fees. I'm not worried about that. It's often much less than credit card fees anyways. And at that point, we can just set up an ACH system where once a month, we send a bulk invoice and we get a bulk payment. It's very simple. It is what we've done for every customer since then that is over $1,000, and it has been a really, really good system. With that being said, in the auto industry, prototype with normal materials. PLA, PETG, ABS, ASA, prototype. Do fitment testing. Don't run car engines with PLA and PETG anywhere near. It will fail.
This is how we get the plane that fell out the sky because somebody made a PLA air intake.
Well,
don't do it.
They said, they bought what they were told was CFABS, and it very much was not. You can do fitment testing with cheaper materials, and then if you need to, outsource the Ultem. They don't need to know that you're doing that, but you need to find a company that you're willing to work with that might have Ultem, Peak, or PEC hanging around and have that capability, that are willing to do it and leave some meat on the bone for you. Right? And say, look, I'm working on these parts. I've been prototyping and testing in this. I now need it in this material. The capacity of my facility does not meet that area yet. Can I send you these pieces? Is there a way that you can give me a wholesale pricing on it? And, we go about our ways. 99 times out of 100, when people ask us that, as long as they can provide the volume that we're looking for, the answer is always yes.
Yep.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, buying a machine is just an investment for earning money.
Yep.
Renting a machine is the exact same thing. It's an investment for money.
Yep.
There's not much of a difference in terms of complexity from renting a machine and renting a machine with a person attached to it to do it for you. Oh, wait a minute. That's just going to somebody else to do it.
Exactly.
Other people and outsourcing is a tool. It's not a failing. You're not failing by outsourcing. You're just utilizing a tool available to you to satisfy your customer.
Yep. The big thing to look at is this person going to be a one-off client? If they are going to be a one-off client, outsource the job. It's not worth it. If they are expected to do a bulk order with you, you can get them in a contract called a take or pay contract where they are legally obligated to complete the contract or pay you the minimum the contract states. If they do above the minimum, they continue on this really, really good price for them. But if they don't, they have to pay you the bare minimum of this contract. That can help you understand, do you bite the bullet and risk the finances for a Peak, PEC, Ultem capable machine, or do you just outsource it? And you might say on the outsource side, if I make 10%, I'm happy. Okay, fine. You're just the middleman. 10% could be a more than reasonable amount of money to pay yourself for being the person that says, oh, thanks for the file. Here, other company, here's your file. Oh, thanks for the part. Here, original client, here's your part. We totally did it. They don't need to know. It's not their business. You are solving a problem. It is not their business who ends up doing the work. They're paying you to solve the problem. There are certain cases where that is different. Aerospace is pretty much the one industry that we found where, specific tracking is really, really important. So be careful about that. But in automotive, they don't give a damn. They've never given a damn. And quite frankly, if it's Peak, PEC, or Ultem they need, you might get more benefit out of stainless, out of metal stainless. And there are a lot of companies out there that will do metal 3D printing for you for relatively affordable.
Metal stainless 3D printing is a lot cheaper than a lot of people assume.
Yeah.
Because it's a material that's very easy to work with.
Yep.
It doesn't have the issues of aluminium printing, and it's not as expensive as titanium printing. So stainless is honestly kind of affordable to a point where it's towing the price point for SLS nylon at times, which is scary.
Yep. And yes, you can go titanium, you can go other materials and things like that. Just look at what makes the most sense. And, Reliance says, I'm too honest for that. If you want to tell them, hey, we are happy to be the middleman on this and communicate with people that do Ultem. However, Ultem is done with a production partner. Fine. No problem. If you want to tell them that, you can. But I will tell you that creates more friction than you would expect, because they're going to want to work with the production partner directly and cut you out of it. And then you lose the customer because now they're just going to go directly to that production partner rather than to you. And that's where, if you do end up with production partners, you could put non-circumvention clauses in there, but they're very, very, very difficult to figure out. Um, let me see. Like scanning all parts to print to make sure they aren't gun parts. I mean, at the end of Sambuzuru, I think he's a little bit far back on that. EduMaker Alex Gibson says, here we buy machine/tools when they enable projects we want to do more of, and worth more than 1 year depreciation on the machine. So generally speaking, for 3D Musketeers, we do not make a machine acquisition unless we can buy, or unless we can get an ROI of under 6 months. If the machine takes more than 6 months for us to pay off with our current demand needs, then we don't buy it because it's not worth it. I'd rather just outsource to handle that and take a lower cut on it, but I would rather outsource to handle it than take the risk of being left with a machine that isn't fully paid off within 6 months. Yes, we're not looking at $1 million machines that could have a much larger payback period. We are fully bootstrapped. We don't have external funding other than an EIDL loan. That's a government loan. It's a very, very different thing than like a bank loan. And that was like a human malware thing. But yeah, don't be afraid, but make sure you have the partnerships and alliances set up to make that happen. And I guess I should point out the fact that if you do want to offer those print services, we did just get an HT90 in the house.
Fantastic. Ooh. Give me 1 second, because I've realized even though my laptop says it's charging, it's down to 7%. So I think I've plugged it into the slow charger, not the fast charger.
Good. So someone was asking, it was Net7 Ruins. You managed to localize your operations at CMMC level 2. Yes. Yep, we have. And that was actually much easier than we expected. So it was pretty good. Rara asked, Grant, when are you going to get an SLM printer? Probably not for a while. We are more looking at powdered nylon and powdered metal versus SLM. So SLM is your selective laser melting. I prefer LPBF and DMLS over, SLM, but that's more of a personal preference. It comes out nicer, but we have production partners that we work with for metals. So we have a local company and we have one down south that we work with for metals. So it's normal, right? We advertise that we do metals. We never said we did it in-house. If somebody assumes we do it in-house, that's on them, not on me. I'm not going to correct them, but I'm not going to lie either. We offer it. I didn't say we do it ourselves. That's the trick. That is the trick of business. It's a bit of a lie, but it's also, you're not lying. They haven't asked the question. They've made an assumption and you've never bothered to correct them. Sapphire XC from Velo with that big Velo energy. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, we don't have the space. One, we don't have the space for that. Two, we don't have the power for that. That'd be pretty cool. And yes, GP3D Designs, we did get an HT90. We're going to be doing a 90-day challenge to pay off the HT90. So we'll get it unboxed. The day we do the unboxing is the day the clock starts. It's kind of cool. We're going to see if we can do it, and we're going to be very public about if we didn't do it, how close we got, and if we did do it, how far beyond it that we were able to make.
That'd be really fun.
So Alex Gibson's asking if we're ISO 9001. We are not. We have not needed that level of certification at this time. And quite frankly, a lot of what we do is very difficult to systematize into ISO 9001 binders. So we haven't done ISO 9K1 or AS 9100. But generally speaking, it's never been required of us to this day.
There's only even on our side, there's only a small selection of companies that won't work for you if you're not 9100. Mm-hmm. And even them kind of turn a blind eye when you're doing such a damn good job. because then they're like, well, who else is there? No one? Okay, I guess we're not doing that then.
Yep.
And it's easy.
So Pip Design Shop asks a question that I think is one that more than one person has thought of before. Any thoughts on PCBWay or any of the others for outsource, and they have no actual plan to use them?
I mean, I could take this away. Yeah, I've used them. They're really good. I hate to say it, they're really good. Now, there is caveats. They're a Chinese company. You can't send defense stuff. You can't send anything ITAR. You can't send like anything under an NDA or anything that needs to be secretive just because it's outsourced to another country. It's not that it's China, it's just another country.
Yep.
Additionally, their support kind of bad. Not bad, just kind of bad. Like there will be times where you might get a problem. Like we had some adapters made with a hole in the middle and they were off-centered slightly. And they didn't really fix it. They're just like, oh, well, that sucks. Better luck next time, I guess. Not what I would call great support, but it wasn't egregiously bad either. I've done it for some PCB manufacturing as well, where they were supposed to add something to the board and the communication was really rough. Like they didn't add the thing to the board, so now the board doesn't have the specific feature we need, even though we asked them to change it. And we paid extra for them to change it, and then they didn't do it. And there's not really a way we can get a refund on that. So
yeah.
However, they are very good at what they do. Like if you want a PCB made and they do it fine, then it will be fine and you can get repeatable orders. Just try to minimize the contact with them because again, it's foreign communications. There's just challenges. You'll get that in any country that you're going abroad for. And their printing side has been really good for us, surprisingly. I've done loads of metal 3D printing with them and loads in the UK, and it's about the same. Sometimes they're just so much cheaper, it's worth doing it.
Yeah, you would be surprised at, and I'm not saying you as Jacob, but the viewers, the listeners, I think you all be surprised how affordable powder and metal 3D printing actually are. Yes, the machines are a minimum $100,000 initial investment, but the materials are actually a lot more affordable than you think. I want to do a challenge with Formlabs where we see how fast we could viably pay off a Fuse 1 Plus system. And I think it's a lot shorter than people think. The systems for these machines, yeah, they're expensive. The infrastructure for it can be expensive, but once it's in place, as long as you maintain it and you take care of it, it can last a very, very long time and produce a lot of money, especially if you're playing in the high-end game. Like, yeah, okay, stainless, titanium, great, Inconel, niobium, god-tier metals that are made and used for rocketry. That is where you make just gobs of money. And especially if you are a local provider of it. And when you're dealing with aerospace, outsourcing is pretty much impossible without very clearly outlining exactly what you're doing. Because otherwise you are likely violating multiple laws of doing it. And you have to get permission to do it. But companies will often love to have an intermediary that will handle all the back and forth communications between outsourced provider partners. So there are ways to still get, it's not a big slice of the pie, but it's a slice of the pie.
Yep.
So, yeah. Let's see. I don't know how to say their name. Youeladaau. I don't know, man.
Damas? No, it's UL Damas.
UL Damas. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the issue for me becoming too corporate. It becomes a part of your policy on what you do and do not fix, and you don't really bend in any direction to help customers. If you look, I mean, this is more of a high level chat than a deep level chat there. If you allow yourself to become too corporate, that's on you, right? I hope that we never become too corporate, but there's always a risk associated with it. As we continue to systematize things and build processes that are repeatable by people other than me, becoming too corporate is a huge risk. And it's why we have staff that always kind of keep an eye on it and be like, hey, tone that down. That's a little much, right? The same way that every now and then I'll tell you, hey, we got 171 people watching and only 56 likes. That's got to pump those rookie numbers up. And don't forget to check out the sponsors of the stream. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Join for as little as $1 a month, and at $10 tier and higher, you get to come hang out with us in our private Patreon Discord. But yeah, you are the only person, if it's your company, that can determine if it gets too corporate. If you sell your company to private equity and it becomes too corporate, that's on you for selling your company, homie. It's all on you. That's how I look at it.
Pretty much. Like it's at the end of the day, a company is just an entity that you can make the character for.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you let that character spec into being corporate versus being warm. And it could be you're chasing money. At which point, do you actually care if you end up too corporate? If you're just earning boatloads of money? That's
some people do, some people don't. Yeah. I mean, at some point, you're making enough money not to care, right? But if you are watching this and you're just starting and you're worried about getting too corporate, pump the brakes. You're not even close to that. It's okay. The fact that you have this in the back of your head, it should stay in the back of your head for right now. But the fact that you are even questioning, could I become too corporate, gives me faith that you won't be. But if you decide you want to be because there's a financial implication associated with it, then do it. There are plenty of companies out there that are way too corporate and the C-suite executives make boatloads of money. Are their employees the happiest? No. At that point, do you care? If you do, well, that's your fault for letting it get that far. If not, enjoy your private island. Just maybe don't do illegal things on it.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all our responsibility to build a cyberpunk future that we want.
Yep. It is our job.
Add more neon lights to your products. We can't get the cyberpunk future without neon lights. Do it.
So Mike C8101 asks, do you have any laser marking or UV printing on stuff you print? Have you seen much demand for that type of post-processing? We don't have UV printing because we don't have a UV printer. We have done some laser marking stuff, but it is not all that common. I can certainly see for like serializing components that having, marking equipment would be useful. However, I'm not certain that long-term it makes a lot of sense. Unless you have a customer that is explicitly asking for it, willing to pay the premium associated with it, and doesn't just want to do it themselves. Because often I'll say, look, if you want to do this, you can buy the laser. I don't want to do it. Because our labor is going to cost a lot more than your labor, and we both know it's a really easy process. That might just make more sense.
Now, I have two different viewpoints on it because it depends what you're using it for. Mm-hmm. One is, if you're using laser marking as a way to like mark a product with some serial numbers and stuff, yeah, it's worth it because they only are doing that purchase because there's a serial number on it. That is already, you should be charging a lot more than just your standard 3D print. It's a way to add value to the products you make. The other side is aesthetic. It's an augmentation of the product you make. Again, if you can't make your product look good because it's a big flat surface, maybe adding some like laser marks on it, make it go from unsellable to sellable.
Yep.
But it's not something that you would normally just advertise that you got laser marking capabilities. It's just something that if a customer comes to you and they're like, yeah, we need these serialized, you just say yes at that point. They don't need to know you've got the laser marker. It's just part of the process for getting them their parts. And that's how it works. Or if you're making the product yourself and you need to zhuzh up the surface slightly, go on, do it. It's an extra, it's like sanding. It's up to you if you do extra processes. And it's up to you to decide if it's worth it.
Yeah,
All it is another tool.
Ultimately, the other thing you have to kind of keep in touch with on this is, are you overextending yourself? As a solopreneur, or even if you have a business partner, it is very, very, very easy to overextend yourself and get you in a position of burnout. Do not do that. I know I am I am preaching from a world of experience and someone who still hasn't learned, right? But at a certain point, I am stuck doing what we do and the kind of hours that I run because we have not systematized enough to replace 100% of me. So
yeah.
I would just be careful if you're going to add services like laser marking. Make sure that you have an industry where that makes sense. Like a MOPA fiber laser, great. Go make friends with the guys at the local gun club and just engrave mags for them.
Yeah,
right.
They would love it.
Engrave
Honestly,
engrave their AR-15P mags, right? Is it going to be political? Yep. Are you going to have to potentially code shift and, be someone that you might not 100% agree with? Okay. Is it worth the money to you? Well, that's between you and yours. You have to make that determination. If you have a fiber laser and you're not going after the gun community, you're dumb.
You're missing something.
Like you're
if
just
you don't
dumb.
even want the gun community, do the airsoft community. They go even more ham into cosmetics because they've already got the gun. They shoot their friends with it. You know what's cooler than that? All the video games they play, which have cosmetic skins. Yep. They want to be drippy when they shoot their friends.
And that's the same thing for laser and UV. I believe a PMAG is thin enough to work on UV. I don't know for sure. But personally, I would think those are very obvious opportunities to do localized sales. To be clear, if you attempt to all of a sudden go to a national level, you will have a lot more competition than you think. Locally, if you don't have a lot of competition, great. You'll own the market. And it will be a great market until somebody else tries to come in. And you have to be ready to make those decisions of, do you want competition or do you want to find ways to get rid of them? And so that's the weird game. So like, we could easily undercut everybody in this industry until they cannot afford to survive. We have enough customers already existing that I could go into the B2C market, basically do prints for next to nothing, undercut everybody else so nobody else is wanting to offer prints anymore, then slowly raise my prices and own the local market. I don't want to because it's way too much work, but we could. You have to look at what it's worth to you. And if you're a solo small business, you don't need to be dealing with that stuff. Focus on what you're doing and stop looking at what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, you make your own path that you blaze.
Right.
Looking over your shoulder, just like in a race, means you slow down. Don't worry about it. If you're getting orders in, you don't mind. Don't care what other people do. They could even sell a better product than you and overtake you and grow 50 times faster. It doesn't matter. Grow the way you want. And as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And the whole Nerf community, too. I mean, very, very similar. Yeah. We always recommend when you're just starting out to stick with localized, like, market segments. So, like, if you're in Florida, maybe make parts that work for beachgoers, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we're known for. You can make parts around that. If you're not into cars, don't try to make parts for the car community. They'll figure it out very quickly. Most communities figure out when you're not into it. Like, if you have the TISM for trains, but you don't have it for planes, and you try to do plane stuff, the plane TISM people will know. Look, the TISMs, we understand when the TISMs don't align, and we get it, man. We get it. But when there's a shysta coming in who's not part of the group, and they're clearly just here to sell you stuff, they're gone in 60 seconds, right? It doesn't take a long time to find the spammers. Don't be a spammer. Be someone that actively and actually provides value to a community. So do it in communities you're already a part of. If you try to be everything for everybody, you will be nothing to nobody. Be unique, be different, be your own special little person. You know, do what you're good at. Don't try to pretend. And like, okay, fake it till you make it, Jacob. Like, how does that play into it here?
All of it. Like confidence, as we already know, there's a reason people call people confidence men, as both a warning and a compliment at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
If you are confident, you can already get halfway through the game. If you're charismatic and people just like going to you because it makes them feel better, brilliant. You're selling a product and happiness. Capitalize on it. There's nothing wrong with that. It only becomes a problem when you are just like actively lying through your teeth and it's now biting you in the ass. But overselling yourself, saying, yeah, we can do something when you can't do something, but you make it happen, that's still okay because you made it happen. You were just saying you can do something in the future, and that future was just before delivery day. It's only a problem when you are being a shyster about it. Like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, take Concert 3D, for example. We did our first trade show and we did a big stand. We didn't do like one of the startup stands. We bought a 4-meter by 5-meter stand. We had a cinema crew show up. We did all the artwork for everything. Yeah, we did it on the cheap because we're a startup company. But we wanted to put forward an aesthetic that we aren't just, at the time, 2 people, a shed and a garage. We wanted to put forward that we are a legitimate competitor. And yeah, is that kind of faking it till you make it? Yeah. I'd say it is. Like, we are faking that we are at a bigger scale and a bigger size than we were when we've had 0 sales. And this is the very first time anyone on the market is able to see the product.
But see,
that's
the trick
faking
is,
it till you make it, and it works.
You never lied. You presented something that would give people the impression that you're bigger than you are. You never told them that you were. They made that assumption, and that is on them, not on you, right? It is okay to look at punching a little bit above your weight class. But, you know, eventually you're going to get Jake Paul'd, homie. Your jaw's going to get broken in 2 places because you just got the shit knocked out of you. And sometimes you're going to have to get hurt to realize, I probably shouldn't have done that. You will make mistakes. It'll happen. If you don't learn from them, then you're going to break your jaw again. Don't be stupid. It is okay to overextend a little bit. And if you realize, oh, we can actually do this, great. You've now added it. Now you can go a little bit further. Can you do it? No, actually, that didn't work very well. Okay, come back. Have people around you that are not only going to support you, but question you, right? I often go to Jacob, and Jacob often comes to me when we're looking at making business moves. And we're not just looking for support from each other. We're looking for an idiot check, right? That, does this feel right? You know, vibe check it for me. You know, does it feel good? And if something feels wrong, we're going to say, I don't know, man, something doesn't feel right about this. Talk to me about why you want to do it. And we'll have a mini podcast personally, right?
Pretty much.
where we're talking about, you know, what we want to do and why. Having people like that in your life is incredibly important to running a business. And if you're like Bad Max and you just want to stay a hobbyist, it's fine too. You don't have to go and make money. If you want to, that's fine. If you accidentally find yourself running a business with 3D printing, great. Just pay your taxes, you know? Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. But I always caution people that there is nothing easier to destroy your love for something than trying to turn it into a profit driver for your life. You will absolutely lose the spark for 3D printing once you rely on it to make money. You'll have a fun project every now and then, but the vast majority of them, it's just work. It's
Yep.
just another day. And it's why we do a lot of volunteer work. It's why I try to get connected with my local community. Because when we go out and we do those events where we bring out, a printer or some cool stuff or whatever, and we show off what we do, and, everyone's wide-eyed. They're asking us all these questions. They're excited. Those events reinvigorate you, and they I don't know, they get the train moving down the tracks again, There's nothing more fun for me than going to these big events. I mean, how amped were we after Form Next?
My God, I was buzzing.
Right? How amped are we
Literally,
going to be
the
after
day-
Smurf?
The day that I got back from Form Next, I immediately pushed up one of our printed designs. Like, I scrapped a load of stuff. I'm like, nah, we got this to do now. And it was fun. I
Yep.
love it. Like, these big shows make me love the industry. And I'm going to go to Smurf and I'm going to see everyone. And it's going to be amazing because it's the community that really keeps me going. It's the community that keeps me driven. And this time, we're not going with a stand. So we will have a printer there. Lovely Doug is doing the STEM corner, and he's getting one of our printers and everything to show it off. But I'm going to talk to the people this time. I'm going for me. I'm not going for console 3D. Though I might come with some freebies. That bed cleaner chemical, it will be nice to get some user testing. Like, we've been doing it internally in the factory, but I want to see what people think of it. It is.
So
other than that, I'm going for me.
Alan
I'm going to
Day.
talk to people.
Alan Day is asking what is Smurf. That's SMRRF, the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Festival. It is held March 7th and 8th of 2026 in Manchester in the UK at Manchester Metropolitan University. We will be there. I actually just had my talk with Tula and the people at the SMF for our fundraising effort this year. I'll tease it. It is all about the hot seat. So hot sauce, hot peppers, and we will be asking people from all around the world to bring spicy stuff, sweet stuff, and weird stuff from their countries, because we're going to have 5 spice levels and the mystery bowl. The mystery bowl will have a bunch of pieces of paper that are folded up. Whatever you grab is whatever you're eating. So if you don't like spicy stuff, you can replace levels of spice with added chances of the mystery. So there'll be a D6 dice roll. So it's 1 of 6 chances, right? There'll be a dedicated, and then there's a guarantee the hottest, possible, right? Mad Cat says he'll talk to Pex Peppers. I already did. Pex Peppers will be supplying the hot sauce for the event. So,
do you allow spiced? So not spicy, but spiced stuff.
I don't know what that means. What's the difference?
Well, spicy is heat, it's capsaicin, while spiced is other spices that aren't hot. But the flavor profile is very unique.
I don't see why not.
Hell yeah, I might supply you something.
Yeah.
So there is a drink from Malta. It's my favorite drink of all time, called Kinney. For some reason, everyone that tries it that aren't Maltese go, ooh, but by the time they finish the drink, they're addicted to it.
Well, I will say I had a conversation with Pex, and they're super cool. They're going to donate some hot sauce for the event. We will not be able to get... I wanted to do blue hot sauce, but the MOQ for that... Again, here's the business side of it. I wanted to do an entire run of custom hot sauce, but I wanted it to be blue. Just food coloring. I don't care. Diet blue. The MOQ was 20 cases.
Ooh, how many is in a case?
I don't know, but I can tell you that's a lot more than I can sell in 2 days. So that's the... And he's like, outside of that, we are happy to support you however we can. We'll provide you with all the hot sauce you need. He said, if we have to ship it to the UK, that's coming out of your dime. I said, not a problem. I totally understand. But yeah, the guys at Pex Pepper, super awesome. I love their hot sauce. They're involved in the community, so it made sense. But yeah, we're going to call it the hot seat. Hot One style. but we're going to do it in a way that the audience can bring on more pain to myself and the guest. So,
Okay, I'm gonna look forward to this. Are you gonna have chicken wings though?
I don't know. So we've got the issue of being able to store the food, keep it warm. We'll need vegan and vegetarian options. So chances are it's just going to be like plastic spoons with hot sauce on it.
No.
I know.
Okay, vegan chicken nuggets. They're actually not too bad, and just chicken wings, and have just an air fryer.
Like
Two
I
air
said,
fryers, one for the vegan, one for the regular.
we haven't 100% figured all this out yet, but
Oh yeah, tortilla chips.
could be tortilla chips. Yeah, we haven't figured this out completely. Like literally, my meeting to lock in exactly what we're doing was last week. Okay, like, yeah, use a build chamber.
Yeah,
Alex Gibson. Yeah, concert 30 build
unit
chamber
for
to
you.
keep it warm.
I replaced the filament bays with just like tortilla bays.
Botanical said, as a Kassan, make sure you have some Da Bomb on hand. I will absolutely not. I would rather do the last dab multiple times than Da Bomb. It is terrible. It is absolutely atrocious hot sauce. Rapid TCT 26. I don't know when or where it is, so I can't tell you if we're going or not. So, I got nothing for that. Oh, you're at 1 frame per second again, Jacob.
Oh no. What did I do?
Oh, you're back now. I think whenever you type, it seems to get very angry with you.
I opened up my power management just to see what is my power percentage at. Fun fact, for some reason, I'm at 9% now. Don't know why it's not charging. But I've gone up 1%. Thank you, laptop. You're trash.
Well, so all right, let me get into since I mean we've covered this on a base level. If you guys want us to dig into any other major subjects for future stream episodes, let us know. Just put it in the comments. If you put it in the chat, we're gonna forget about it. Put it in the comments, put it in our Discord. I don't know, tag us on social media or something. I don't know. Figure it out. Just not in the chat. Cause we'll forget it. So if you're listening back audio only, comment it and all that. So my car is currently sitting at the local high school.
Oh.
They have
Is this the broken one or the newly fixed one?
I don't have a newly fixed car.
Oh, so it's just the broken one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a local tech high school with some of the most amazing like experiences for kids. They can, as a teenager, leave high school with an ASE certification to become a mechanic. They can leave with their CCNA license for nursing. They can leave with their GC license for contracting. They can leave with robotics and CNC milling certifications for engineering. Like they're leaving school with the ability to enter into trades. Well, I do a lot of volunteer work there. I'm the mentor for their first robotics team. I just signed all the paperwork for that, which is pretty cool. And in doing that, I now have access to the auto shop. Jacob, they're charging me $10 an hour. That's it. Normal shop is like $85 to $150 an hour. And I have access to a fully stocked set of Snap-on tools, all the diagnostic stuff I could ever need.
Really cheap.
Yep, hoists and everything. So, and because I'm qualified to work with the kids, I actually will go there and wrench on the car with them. So it's a really cool opportunity to learn at the same time as being able to help and inspire. And in theory, we're going to be doing some 3D printing and some filming with it. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. And this is what happens when you like get out there into your community. You start to meet people, start to talk with people, start to not so much as network, but just offer your assistance. And then you just get to talking. And eventually it goes into, oh yeah, my car is currently broken, this and that. Oh, we have a mechanic program here. Why don't you bring it in? Let me get you over to the, to the program that's there. And, the professors, the robotics professor is Anthony Barna. great guy. And then the mechanics professor is David Coker. Again, really nice guys. Super, super intelligent. Both of them have tons of experience, and their entire goal, inspire the kids. The kids are going to learn on their own. All we have to do is make sure that they're inspired. They don't cut their fingers off.
That is the way it should be. That's how I learned all of my engineering practices, and it was worth it.
Yep.
Like, you cannot build inspiration without letting people have fun on it. You can't just do theory. They need to be practical, and that is what is so fun about it.
But if you want to laugh, every single person working on that car, other than myself and the teacher, are younger than the car.
I don't know how I feel like that, because recently, like loads of new friends that I've made, we went out drinking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my birthday's like 2002," and I'm like, "What do you mean 2002? You're like 25, right?" And they're like, "Yeah."
That makes them 23, so I guess that makes them legally able to drink.
Honey, get off that wire. She's eating the power cable.
Well, there's your problem.
Apparently the power tastes good.
Oh yeah, power's really tasty. And then tonight we're going out to another one of those Brazilian steakhouses that are unlimited meats. So I look forward to the meat sweats later tonight. It's to celebrate my birthday, Jonathan's birthday, and Amber's birthday, because the local place has buy one, get one for $1 for your birthday. And it's normally like $60 a person. So myself, Amber, and Jonathan are all $1. Jonathan's bringing his girlfriend, and my parents are meeting us. So we're basically buying 3, getting 3 free. So
that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
It is not Fogo de Chao. It is Rhodesia. We've never been to it, but they have a good deal. So we're like, what's the worst? It ends up being effectively $30 a person for a bunch of meat. That doesn't seem bad. So yeah, that's going to be our little birthday get together.
So Brexit asks, what's the latest on my car?
Yeah.
Interesting development. We now know what's wrong with the car.
And it is.
So for everyone who wasn't watching, I had to get my partner emergency to hospital, and I drove a suspect Nissan Leaf at the software max limit of 90 miles an hour, basically pulling 80 kilowatts at all times. And did that for 10 minutes straight, and the car literally just imploded in the car park, and I abandoned it on a roundabout where every warning light on the dash was, it's fucked. That's the official term, what the car said to me. Got it in the shop. They've done full diagnostics, they've done everything, and they've turned around saying, yep, your entire battery pack died. Not like a cell, not like a little bit of it so they can cut it out and you just get reduced. No, it's gone. The entire pack zeroed across the board. So I got this Nissan Leaf for £2,200. It should have cost me about £5,000 or £6,000 because the battery packs are about £5,000 or £6,000. To buy a brand new battery pack with a warranty for my car, do you know how much it will cost, Grant?
More than I would put into it.
Actually, only £1,200. So apparently, the official dealership and Nissan's official recommendation is go to your local scrapper, preferably a good one, find a scrapped new Nissan Leaf and pull the battery out of it, because it will still be under warranty. As long as the battery pack is fine, it's fine. Plug it in, go. As long as there's no breaches in it, it's good to go.
So I'm more used to the Toyota Prius batteries where they're cells. So traditionally what happens is a cell will die. The car will say it's always at 100% charge, but it's actually not, because it doesn't know where the voltage is, so it's all screwy. So you just go through with a multimeter and find the one dead cell, you pull it out, you put a new one in and solder it and all that, and you're good. Apparently you're LFP, so you're lithium iron phosphate.
No, this is a 10-year-old one. It's LiPo. It's straight up lithium polymer, because they're in pouches, they're not even in cells. So they're not like 18650s, they're not like 25s, 40s or whatever. They are pouches. So they're the old type. They're
The
the
spicy
catch fire
lithium.
fast type.
Yeah.
Yes. Thankfully, there is air gap between each one, so the actual safety rating for that pack is insanely high. So what we're doing is we're getting a scrapped leaf battery for like 1,200 with labor and everything. It's come to like 1,600. We're gonna drop the current pack out, put the new pack in, see if it's okay, because the old pack was dead. And if it wasn't, we're gonna merge the two packs and then try and recreate a 30 or maybe even a 40 kilowatt pack. Because my old one was a 30 kilowatt pack, but it was only charging about 15 kilowatts. So it was like half dead. And I think what probably happened was 2 or 3 of the cells hit 0, and then the rest of the cells just crumbled around it.
Right, because it's trying to balance itself and it can't do it because the cells are
Cells
pissed.
are shot.
Yeah. Well,
the cells are more sand than lithium at this point.
The only advice I can give you there is don't do that inside of the car. In the event that things get really spicy, you just run away and let it burn.
Yeah. It will all be done separately. The 2 packs will be tested separately. I will be getting some very nice, thick 40mm wide DC cabling so I can run the car with the battery disconnected from the car, just in case. And then we'll see what happens. I mean, the worst that comes to it,
I don't see a single way this can go wrong.
I have a dead pack that I can salvage some cells out of and maybe turn it into a home storage pack. Because I don't need 80 kilowatt like output. You only need 5 or 6 for a house. Brilliant. Now I have a cheap house output.
In what world do you live in that you only need 5 or 6 kilowatts to run your house?
Okay. Ignoring if you have an air source heat pump or like an electric oven, 90% of your house doesn't normally go above 2 or 3 kilowatts at one point.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I mean,
so that's why the ones off the shelf are bought and sold in 5 kilowatt packs, and you get 5 kilowatt inverters.
My AC is like 12 kilowatts.
Like, even when my computer was running, which is a power hungry little girl, my CNCs are running, both of them. All the house heating and everything, we only pulled like 4.5 kilowatts.
Well, I mean, certainly you could look at doing that. It is just be safe with lithium, obviously keep it away from the house in the event that things get a little spicy. I mean, for our planned expansion, we're doing 15 kilowatt hour packs, but they're lithium iron phosphate. But even then, we're isolating them in their own shipping container.
Yep.
So in the event that things do go nuclear, let it burn. I don't care.
Oh, here's a good one from Doug. Doug said, my house is currently drawing 3.7 kilowatts and I'm boiling the kettle, which means the rest of his house is only pulling 0.7 kilowatts.
Well, Doug doesn't have a home lab server, apparently.
Also, for all the Americans watching, British kettles are 3 kilowatts because our plugs aren't trash.
Buddy.
And our power is good.
The Mac Mini, the editing PC, this computer, and the scanning laptop are all on, and they're drawing right under 400 watts constant right now.
See, they don't draw that much. Like, everyone overestimates, like, the average draw. Yeah. It's only when you really hammer stuff that the things get steady.
Nope. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's a 4770K and 8 hard drives. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's not too crazy. As I say, my brother's server rack draws a lot of power. But yeah, look, there's, if you guys do want to see like dedicated episodes on the business stuff, let us know. We do plan on having some business focused guests coming on, including Slant 3D. So, if you guys do want to see some of that, let us know when and all that kind of stuff. But I think that kind of covers the basics, right?
Yeah. I think the main takeaway is value yourself more.
Value your freaking self. Yeah.
Is the biggest thing. Check what the value of the product you're making is, not what you can charge it at. Mm-hmm. You can always go cheaper, but it's very hard to go more expensive. So don't start low, start high.
That's right.
Oh, and here's just another one. If you can half your customer base but double your price, do it. because you gain more time and you kept the same amount of money.
You
And
learned that
keep
from
doing that.
me.
I did. I love it. That is why our new machine is 15 grand. We do not expect to sell many, though weirdly enough, more people have been interested than ever before. But we expect to sell less and make the same amount of money we did last year by making 10 times less machines.
That's right.
That's nice. I want to get my life back. I want to get time to do cooler projects.
None of us are in the right tax brackets to get more time in the world. So instead, we have to value the time that we have in this world at a higher amount. And especially when things in life change, whether your family is expanding or contracting, those present you with different perspectives in the world that remind you that life is fleeting and you have to take advantage of the time that you have. And if you're going to spend that time working, it has to pay you a certain amount so that you're not doing something else. It's all about opportunity cost. So,
yep. Just make sure you value yourselves, guys.
Yeah, don't
like it's easy to get lost in the rat race of success of doing a lot of things. But if that success is draining your soul and you're not actually earning the money that you want from it, it ain't worth it. Even though it does feel quite good to have people like have clout over you. Hence, oh, I'm not wearing the hat. Where's the hat? Where's my hat?
You're wearing a Bondtech hat.
I know. I put the Bondtech hat on for a reason. Oh, I think I brought it upstairs. I was going to swap out my hats halfway through the show. To everyone's favorite niche internet micro celebrity. I love that hat. It gives me big YouTuber vibes because somebody bought me a piece of clothing because I'm a YouTuber now. But don't do it for the clout. It make you feel good. It doesn't earn you money. And it's the same with all of it. Like, you can go to your local business events and you can go to these big like wine bars and everything and pay the money and you can do all the things. Like, we got an award once basically because we bought it. We didn't realize it at the time. We were nominated to be a finalist and a thing, and we had to pay for the dinner, but we went, we paid for the dinner, and then I realized they only give awards out for people who paid to go, which means we bought the award. That doesn't mean we actually won it. They only gave it to people who paid. But it makes you feel good. They brought in like celebrities. I met like an XF1 driver, like world champion. We had steak that was made on some stupidly overpriced plate. Feels great. Doesn't mean you're doing the right job.
And those fancy things can be fun. Just, value your time accordingly. And if you're saying, well, I'm only making $20 an hour, too little. If you are running your own business, the minimum that you should be billing for your time is $50 an hour. I'm sorry. Yep. And that's in my area's cost of living. You could go get a job making $15 to $20 an hour pretty easily. Yep. Right? The minimum wage is $14 an hour here in Florida. You can go flip burgers for $14 an hour. Okay. So if you're only making 20, why are you having all of this extra BS, right? Taxes and liability and responsibility. Go work for somebody else and have no responsibility. And if they fire you, go work for somebody else. Like, who gives a damn? You need to make enough money where the risk that you are taking by saying no to a steady income is worth it on the back end. That's what being a business owner is about. It's not about trying to be cheaper. It's about valuing your own damn time accordingly and in a way that is productive and effective. And if you're not charging enough for it, raise your damn prices.
Yep.
So, Mad Cat saying 14 years in my position and I'm making $25 an hour in California. Jesus.
That's not good.
The one drawback to a union job, they're locked into a contract. Yeah, but you got the union to protect you, so there is some value to that union as well. Yeah.
Yep. And also, just on the flip side, I know like we were tangenting off. Sometimes money isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't do the job. Like literally, my best paying job. I don't think I've ever said it on the live stream before. My best paying job earned me £7.62 every 45 seconds.
What a weird. Why would you be? What is that per hour?
It was close to about 200 to 300 pounds per hour.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why is it built 45-second increments? That's so stupid.
Because it was a production job. I got paid per product, and I was parallel processing CNC machines, doing woodworking, and it was just logo engraving
Okay.
for a local woodwork company. And I overtook their entire CNC department. They outsourced it to me, and I was making all this stuff. It was fantastic. I hated it. It was mind-numbingly boring. I spent 8 hours a day, sometimes even 14 hours a day, just walk to machine, undo one bolt, put a wood in, put one bolt in, move to the next machine, undo one bolt, put wood in, close machine, do one bolt. I got like happy when a piece of wood had a fault with it because I had to write a report that the wood was bad. Like sometimes you'd think like hearing the cha-ching happen every now and again in your head keeps you going. Sometimes it doesn't. It became mind-numbingly boring.
You're making 600 pounds an hour, basically.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. You said
it was a great
7.5 pounds every 45 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 7.5 divided by 45 gets us 17 cents per minute, right? If we multiply that by 60, that's 10. Oh, no, that was per second. Wait. My math might be wrong. 45 seconds, you said. 45 seconds, yes.
Yeah, that gets 45 seconds.
That gets us $10 a minute times 60 was 600 quid an hour. Jacob, why the hell would anyone be billing it out by 45-second increments?
It was by product. It took 45 seconds to do the product.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
We're weird. The most I made...
Well, that was how I had to justify the work, because if it took 2 minutes per engraving, then it was £7.50 for 2 minutes. But it ended up being £75 for 45 seconds. Because each job was 1 minute, 51.
The way we would do that is say you're making X amount of pieces per hour, and those pieces have a value of X amount, and then you can figure out your hourly rate. Jacob.
I'm not normal.
I already know. This has been a well-established fact on this podcast. Yes, and neither am I. Anything else you want to add, dude?
I think that's it. Just guys, value yourself.
Value your damn.
It doesn't matter about the money sometimes. Value your sanity first, then value your time second. Then you can work out what you're actually worth when you're doing your job, and make sure you're pricing in soft things like food and bills, not just what you can sell a product for, but the amenitized costs like development time, the time it takes for you to like get out of work and go to like the workplace is another thing you need to be considering. So all well and good, a product can be profitable, but if you have to drive 100 hours every day, guess what? You're not earning money. You're just wasting it.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You guys are worth it.
I was making the most I made before I left corporate America was, well, per hour, was $40 an hour. But I was driving 45 minutes each way. So in reality, that 8-hour day was really 9.5 hours. So it brought my effective pay to like $34, $35 an hour, which wasn't bad. And the job I was doing, I really, really liked. But that job was the one that ultimately broke my back. So here we are again.
Yeah. And I bet you right now, you would have paid a lot more just not to have your back broken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would give up every dime in my bank account to not deal with the chronic pain. I would gladly give it up. But there's no perfect solution. It just kind of is what it is. It's life sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't mean to end this on more of a somber note.
It's good. Because it's a good warning for people.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah, no, you have to keep track of that stuff. And you might say, I'm young, I can run an overnight. You probably can. And I'm 36. I can still do it. I don't like to. But I can. But as you get older, you realize that, okay, I have to start valuing my time more. I have to start valuing my time more, valuing my time more.
You only get one life. Don't waste it in the rat race trying to earn money.
YOLO.
It's all well and good if you die with a load of money, but you know what we call that? A dragon. And dragons are normally solitary. They're cool because they have a load of money and they've got wings and they breathe fire, but that's it.
Dragon D's nuts. I had to. It was right there. It was just. It was too easy.
It's too good. It's too good.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna give away some filament. Then we're gonna go send you to go hang out Mr. Steve Builds. Don't forget to leave a like, get subscribed to the podcast, support creators, not just us, but support creators that you enjoy listening to and watching, and it helps us. It motivates us. It helps us make sure that our time is actually valued correctly. The whole point of the show. But that is all we have for you all today on episode 251 of the Making Awesome podcast, which is all about how to make money with 3D printers. And really what it turned into is valuing your own time. But stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one.
Go value yourself.
All right, I got to stop recording on the two things. Let's give away some filament. Let's give away. I hate the new way that I hate the new way Google Forms is doing things. So, all right, we're no longer accepting. Let's go to January. Sort from A to Z. Let's grab today.
You know what? As much as this is a temporary setup, I am actually kind of vibing with just sofa time. I just get to sit back, be on a sofa, talk to the lovely people. It's great. I feel kind of baller. I'm going to be in my lazy hoodie, sad boy, repping the local brand. This is a guy from university made this. Got a little Bontech hat.
Someday I will have a more laid back streaming setup, but
it's okay. I can turn all the lights out, and then it's an after dark playlist now.
No. Oh, Jesus Christ. No! Stop it. I will. We're going to get demonetized if you keep going. No, like, just the song alone will demonetize the stream.
Oh, no.
Yeah, welcome to YouTube. Okay, there's number one. It was only a 2-hour show this week, so we only get 2 winners this week. Then we'll go send you guys to go hang out with Mr. Steve Builds, if he's streaming. I didn't get a thing from him today, so he might not be streaming. Oh, well, this one's going to make it look like... Let me make sure. Yeah, this one's going to make it look like we did something wrong. The winner, the second winner, I think, was the one that donated $50. I think it was.
The casting couch with Jacob, ? Hell yeah.
Yeah. So to the 2 winners,
ready.
Please reach out to me via Discord is generally the best way to do it. And yeah, we'll get you guys some good stuff there. Some free filament from Printed Solid. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's see if Mr. Steve Builds is streaming. Let's see what's going on with him. Redirect. Oh, he's not streaming. Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah, he's not streaming. Okay. I don't know who else is streaming right now, so bye. I don't know. Normally we send you guys go hang out with Steve. This is weird that Steve's not streaming and we are. This is weird. All right. Well, we'll see you all in the Discord. Take care.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.